This is a very brilliant initiative per se, because I did not have that when I was in college. Interaction comes up. What network do we have? Alumni, who is doing what? Kuch problem atki hai to. That was not there. So I think this is a very good initiative. The only thing is IIT Guwahati, while you can get that initial traction, but otherwise this can be open to all. You should get everyone involved, and wherever you get the best inputs.
Hi everyone, welcome to All Pundits. At All Pundits, we try and bring in different pundits of business to share their insights and learning. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Manuj Mundra, who is the head of product at Pickrr. Prior to joining Pickrr, he was senior product manager at Rivigo. He did his masters from ISB and also his BTech from IIT Guwahati, which is our alma mater as well. Let's start off with this episode wherein we try to deep dive into Manoj's life and understand क्या steps उन्होंने कैसे लिए थे. Manoj, it would be really great if you could share some insights on your life journey till now, from your schooling and then how you ended up into a product part and ended up heading and creating various product at various companies.
First of all, thank you for having me here, and I think it's a wonderful initiative that you guys have taken.
Thank you.
Deep diving into myself, I'm a undergrad from IIT Guwahati way back in 2010. So मैंने BTech biotechnology में करा था. And post that I spent 7 years at a commercial aviation startup. उसके बाद I did my MBA from ISB, as you said. Then I got a 3 years stint at Rivigo, and then last close to 2 years now at Pickrr. So how did I get into product management? I actually did not. It just happened per se. So in my first stint, I was doing product management for about आखिरी के 3-4 years. But back then I did not know I was doing product management. जब मैं MBA करने गया तब थोड़ी exposure मिला, visibility मिला. Then I got exposed to this concept of product management and understood what is a product manager and what does it do. And it was like a retrospective force fed कि अच्छा, this is product management. अच्छा, I was a product manager back then.
अच्छा, तो बाद में आपने CV में चेंज किया, मुझे पता लगा कि अच्छा
when I was doing product management, I did not know I was doing product management. Plus it was a very small setup initially. So we were doing just any which जो भी चीज करनी होती थी वो चीज करनी होती थी. ऐसा कोई tag नहीं था. I was never officially a product manager at my first company. वो मेरे को Rivigo जाके I got hired as a product SPM there.
So first of all, you almost spent 7 years after IIT Guwahati into an aviation startup, as you mentioned.
Yep.
And then you decided to go into ISB, right, or pursue masters there. So what exactly kicked in? इस time duration में आप क्या सोच रहे थे? What happened मतलब बीच में? लोग normally चले जाते हैं ना?
I get that a lot. मतलब लोगों के resumes में 1.5-2 साल के stint होते हैं for
masters
5-6-7 companies के back-to-back job hopping. What I did, or why I spent 7 years, is a combination of two things. Firstly, I kind of got very comfortable and enjoyed the idea. The concept itself was very unique, and starting के 3-4 साल तो I was having the best time of my life and I was enjoying. एक तो काम was across the board in all functions, and the pace was very high. It was completely bootstrapped. It was always bottom line positive. So 3-4 साल तक तो बहुत ही मजा आ रहा था, and I did not even think about switching. आखिरी 2-3 साल I would just chalk it to inertia per se. I had to get that kick कि हाँ अब ये trigger करना है, and post that MBA ही करना था. So initially got into Texas A&M, got into SAAS, but then वो थोड़ा नहीं हो पाया because of XYZ reasons. Then ISB वाला opportunity मेरे पास 2017 में आया. I just thought this is the time. Let's do this. One very major reason was that I got married. तो शादी के 1 साल बाद ही मैं MBA करने निकल लिया. So that my wife should be kind of gave me that confidence and that कि हाँ भी चलो अभी करना है तो अभी कर लो टाइप.
नाइस नाइस. सो मतलब बीच में आपने टेक्सास का भी आपने अभी पॉइंट किया कि you also got into Texas but you did not go there.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to deep dive into the reason? I'm just curious. That's why.
There's no sugarcoating it. It's a financial commitment. Plus, it's a decision between where you want to settle. Do you want to live in India or do you want to live in the US? You cannot get the ROI of 2 साल का fees working in India.
Correct.
तो दो ही decision थे कि इतना बड़ा capital investment करना है कि नहीं करना है. If you don't want to settle there, and I was pretty clear कि
वहाँ नहीं settle.
हाँ, वहाँ नहीं settle हो पाएंगे.
और एक और MBA का decision आपने अभी just थोड़ी देर पहले बोला कि यार थोड़ा clear हो गया था कि अब मुझे MBA करना है. मतलब मैं पर्सनली खुद भी कभी कभी डिलेमा में रहता हूँ कि MBA करना है नहीं करना है, करना है नहीं करना है. ये क्लैरिटी आती कैसे है? मेरे को समझ में नहीं आई. मेरे को अभी तक नहीं आई. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ठीक है कर रहे हैं, अच्छा लग रहा है, मजा आ रहा है, तो क्यों
यार. तो जितना मैंने देखा है, there are 2 types of MBAs. जो MBA aspirants होते हैं, जो लोग MBA करते हैं. First is immediately after undergrad, अथवा IIMs or any other MBA colleges, which is like for a better placement or for a better role. So that is a straightforward path. Last year मैं CAT की preparation करो, CAT दो, जहाँ पे भी मिलता है, वहाँ से MBA कर लो. Once you spend a certain number of years in the industry, then लोग या तो कहीं से भागने के लिए MBA करते हैं या कहीं पहुंचने के लिए MBA करते हैं. मैंने MBA किया because 7 years in an aviation industry, nobody would kind of take me seriously into anything else. I would be an aviation guy. मैं वहाँ से United जाता या Delta जाता या Kingfisher जाता या Air India जाता because I had tech experience, I had business experience, ops experience, थोड़ा बहुत हर जगह का. But then I worked 7 years in aviation. तो मेरे को एविएशन से स्विच करना था एंड आई नीडेड अ फ्रेश प्लेटफॉर्म. तो उसके लिए या तो यू जॉइन अ वेरी अर्ली स्टेज स्टार्टअप पर से जहाँ पे पीपल डोंट केयर इतना बिकॉज पीपल डोंट नीड यू फॉर योर एक्सपर्टीज, पीपल नीड यू फॉर योर मेहनत एंड भाग दौड़, और यू डू एन एमबीए. तो आई वाज getting away from aviation, that is why I decided to do an MBA. Or if you have that level of clarity कि you want to do this, you want to reach there, and उसके लिए you backtrack that goal कि I need an MBA for this. If you want to go into impact consulting, let's say, or a PE consulting, या फिर आपको किसी particular type की company में particular type के role में ही काम करना है, you want to work as a consultant for Bain, उस पे you go and backtrack के what are the consulting firms in the country or outside, where do they hire from, ये वाले MBA colleges हैं, इस type के candidates को लेते हैं. So people do MBA to either get there or get away from where they are.
मुझे अभी रियलाइज हुआ, आपने बोला था मुझे शायद दोनों ही नहीं करना है, इसलिए neither I want to get away, neither I want to get anywhere. Right now the way I'm going I'm fine in that way. To put it in context कि एविएशन से हटते तो आपके पास यही ऑप्शन था, या तो आप ऑलमोस्ट जीरो से नए स्टार्टअप पे स्टार्ट कर लेना, या फिर एमबीए लेके एक अच्छे पोजीशन पे कहीं पे मूव होना, या अच्छे एक पॉइंट पे.
It gives you a
elevation.
Not an elevation, it brings everyone up to the same level.
Correct.
Now your past experience is just a factor in someone deciding whether they want to give you an opportunity or not.
Correct.
So me, with that work X, without an MBA, would not have gotten a SPM role or at any role at a decent size startup per se, because वो एक flag रहता था.
So I have personally seen you scaling multiple products. So wanted to know how you scale, or what are the thought process behind scaling a product from 0 to 1, or let's say 1 to 20 or 10, है ना? तो वो thought process क्या होता है? For a product which is not there, you don't know कि कल क्या हो सकता है, क्या नहीं हो सकता. How do you plan things?
This is a very loaded kind of question.
I thought you get into you don't plan.
नहीं. So first of all, you have an objective कि ये करना है, ये अचीव करना है, but it's mostly experimentation, and you have to do things with a certain degree of confidence, which is never 100, which is never even 90 or 80. कि कैसे, I would not say scale करते हैं, कैसे succeed करते हैं in any objective, because scale is a very B2C growth वाला product management कि मेरे कितने BAUs हो गए, कितने MAUs हो गए, कितना मेरा revenue हो गया. For any product to succeed, I think first of all, as a product management, you need basic hygiene skill sets. Like you need to know what industry is there. You need to know first principle thinking of problem solving. You need to know the problem. Half of the time, the problem itself is not clear. Somebody is giving you, I need this or I want this. Nobody is there to ask you, why do you want this? What is the problem that you are trying to solve? And again, it works because of silos. Sales wants something because there's a customer that wants there, or there's a target that is on their head. Legal wants something because कहीं कोई law या कोई compliance या कहीं कुछ
अपना काम easy कराना है, अपना target खत्म करना है.
Everybody has suggestions. You need to find out what the problem is actually that they are trying to solve and what is the best possible way that works. Not optimally. ऐसी रिक्वेस्ट आती हैं, यहाँ ये बटन लगा दो, इस बटन लगा के ये करके ये दिखा दो. तो why? ये बटन क्यों चाहिए? एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम क्या है? डुएबल है कि नहीं है? इस बटन के पीछे क्या लगेगा और कौन सी टीम्स इन्वॉल्व होंगी? क्या मैं लगा सकता हूँ कि नहीं लगा सकता? दैट इज अ मेन कम्युनिकेशन और ब्रिजिंग द नॉलेज गैप्स. You can call them internal consultants. Basically, consultant आके जो all the ideas are there. बहुत स्मार्ट लोग हर डिपार्टमेंट में होते हैं. PMs as a product team or as a product person, we don't want to be custodians of all ideas because then the company is as good as the product team itself. तो it's never like कि जो मैं कहूँगा वही होगा क्योंकि मेरे को पता है क्या सही है. It's always like कि किसके पास क्या ideas हैं, क्या doable हैं. So we are more into the business of picking and finding and choosing the best ideas, and then if we get 20 ideas, उसमें से कौन से दो करने हैं, that is core product responsibility.
Got it. And
generating the ideas is never
main product.
मतलब we are not accountable for all ideas, but we are accountable for picking the ideas that we need to move forward with. So product management is a very new concept. India में तो पिछले 7-8 years, maybe Silicon Valley में 20-25 साल से हैं. There's people who have been doing product management. And ऐसे कुछ playbook नहीं है. What is product management? What does a product manager do? Now still people know and understand what they do, but it depends company to company, stage to stage, sector to sector. Because you're not adding any tangible value per se. Product manager acts as a communication layer and brings everyone on the same page. People who are working in silos. फाइनेंस वाले को नहीं पता ऑप्स की क्या चैलेंजेस हैं उतना क्लोजली, ऑप्स को नहीं पता टेक में क्या चल रहा है उतना क्लोजली. So I think the most important thing that a product manager does is kind of keep everyone on the same page so that the entire team is not running in different directions and bridges the gaps wherever they are there. And I think the second most important thing that the product manager does is acts on behalf of the user in this entire journey. Sales targets is sales, ops targets is ops. फाइनेंस को अपना कंप्लायंस कर रहेगा, लीगल के अपने अंदर चैलेंजेस होंगे. नोबडी इज एक्टिंग एज अ एडवोकेट फॉर द यूजर कि नहीं यूजर को ये चाहिए, सो वील फाइंड अ वर्क अराउंड, वील डू समथिंग और लेट्स फाइंड अ कॉम्प्रोमाइज हियर. आपस में जहाँ पे भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स आते हैं उसको कैसे रिजॉल्व करना है, गेटिंग साइन ऑफ एवरी डिपार्टमेंट और एवरी टीम ऑन a particular problem or a particular product per se.
So, before moving into your ISB and IIT Guwahati wala part, since you are, you have worked extensively in logistic background, you have worked with Rivigo in PTL, FTL, created, scaled multiple products there. Then, you came into the D2C world or e-commerce wala part or B2C, which we call it, at Pickrr. You are, solving multiple problems here for the users through your products. We would like to know how or what is the actual importance of tech and product is going to be in logistics sector going forward.
Again, a very loaded question. So, speaking of India, very broad macro terms, Indian logistics is around 15-16% of our GDP spend. Comparable scale in developed countries like
US,
Europe or US, it hovers in around 6-8% types. So broadly speaking, there is 6-7% of GDP on the table, which is a waste right now, which needs to be acquired or attributed, or somebody needs to make that pie which is on the table, which is getting wasted. The only thing that this happens is through either consolidation or through efficiency. Major problem here is pilferage or underutilization across. Underutilization of warehouses, underutilization of manpower, underutilization of vehicles, underutilization of time. Utilization increase is always a tech problem. It's always a visibility problem. It's always a consolidation problem. So, and from top to bottom, from Narendra Modi to you guys or me, we are aligned. That is why ULIP Niti Aayog is doing. That is why ONDC is setting up. So the thing of capturing those 5-6% of GDP, that's a very important objective that everybody is aligned. And the only way this happens is through tech. And again, this is a tech enabled thing because tech is not the product that sells. So the goals or the objectives are pretty much clear. You need to have visibility of inventory and you need to have better tracking and you need to have better trust. So across the board, everybody is solving for just these three things. Amazon works because there's better tracking, better trust and better visibility.
Correct.
What product is available where, it will come to you by mail and it will come. If you don't like it, you can return it. So Blackbuck or Mahindra or all the FTL are doing the same thing. Which vehicle is sent where, it can go where, you can track this vehicle whether it is reaching or not, and you trust them that there is a proof of delivery, they'll deliver whatever stuff is there. So across the board there will be multiple use cases and the number of very niche specific startups or people will be solving every one of this problem. But it will take a bit of time and expertise and innovation and capital per se.
Still thinking and processing what you said, because yes, actually 7-8% भी मान लो, 10% भी मान लो, तो भी 5-6-7% on the table है जो can be moved or shifted, and I think it's needed as well. इतना बड़ा वो नहीं 1/5 1/6 type का dependency नहीं हो सकता पूरी GDP.
And things have moved pretty fast. मतलब you would do Delhi Bombay on road in 72 hours now on trucks. It was unimaginable 10 years ago. It would be like 4 days, 5 days, 6 days minimum. So FASTag was again tech on a global scale. It's what solved for tolls and utilization of vehicles on the road. The highways, the corridors, the expressways. These are all infrastructure.
Solve the cash and accounting problem and everything.
So they're also solving the utilization problem.
Correct.
At the time the trucks will be moving, the more you will utilize them. You cannot survive without tech. Any business, no matter how primitive, how operations, they cannot survive without tech. And PMs by default are the interface between business design, sales, ops and tech. So one primary responsibility that technical program managers or project managers or product managers, they have is translating whatever the rest of the world is seeing into something that the tech can understand. And it's basically 80-20 rule. This is how it works in 80% of the companies. Zerodha does not have product managers because those guys, the founders are product managers, the engineers are product managers. They understand their problem statement themselves, so they make their own decisions and do their own stuff. But mostly interacting with tech or how to, in a very plain word, translate something that is an English problem into how it works, how the system works, how the architecture works, what is the expected behavior of any product or a code or a function or a button. That part will have to be solved by product managers.
But still, as you mentioned, let's say you took an example of Zerodha. What I could understand is you might not have a specific person named as product manager or a designation as a product manager. Someone else would be.
You would always have someone doing that.
Product management.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is, I just wanted to clear that out. Nice. As you said, कि 7-8 maybe 10 साल से more product managers वाला जो concept है इंडिया में more prevalent होते आया हुआ है. इस पे आप people, we see a lot of youngsters or people who are just graduating from college want to, या फिर college में है second year, third year, want to become product managers or something of that sort. एक thought process होता है. What is the advice that you actually want to give कि यार ऐसे चीजें होती हैं, and if you're not this then do not choose this. You'll suffer or you'll not feel good about being a product manager.
Okay. why should you not become a product manager?
और why should you मतलब ठीक है.
अरे लोग बहुत there are sayings or dogmas like product manager is the CEO of a product, product manager is a user champion, product manager is as an overlap between marketing and tech and sales and whatever, which is true. But as a product manager, you have the final say on what gets pushed and what does not get pushed. So, and you are not doing anything tangible per se. It's not visible to anybody that तुम कर क्या रहे हो, as we said before. So all your wins are not your wins. All your wins is somebody else's wins. But all your failures are
your
product failures because you are the CEO of the product. So product management is, I would say, a pretty thankless kind of job where your main objective is ensuring that everybody stays at the same level and nothing goes wrong per se. When there's nothing going wrong, you don't get the credit. But if something goes right, it's either a sales win or an ops win or a marketing win or a finance win. And the second part of it is what people say, influence without authority. Sales team does not report to me. Operations does not report to me. The engineers that are building the product, they don't report to me. Nobody exactly reports to me. If I'm building a product that's ops heavy, I need these guys to drive this.
Correct.
If I have to sell something, I need my marketing team to kind of pitch that. Again, it differs from what kind of products are you building and how do you sell and how
even
do
company
you market.
Structures,
And company structures, how to build, I have to get the engineers to build it in a way that works with the vision that we move forward with. जिसको मैं हिंदी में कहता हूँ कि इज्जत, you have to get that influence. आपको इज्जत कमानी पड़ती है. Then you can influence people without the authority that you have.
Correct.
Now, you can never be the smartest person in any room.
Correct.
You can never be someone who just sees things, a visionary type of person where people just listen to you automatically. The only thing that is in your control is you can be the hardest working person in any room. In any discussion, you can be the person who's most researched, who's gone through the most data, who's spoken to the most customers, and who's the most prepared in that room. And consistently, repeatedly doing that is how you get that influence, so that people listen to you when you say something, and people understand the value that you are adding or the insights that you get. So it's a long and tedious kind of journey. All the product managers work nights. All the good product managers work nights and weekends.
Last time Shantanu Deshpande said this and there was a big chaos at LinkedIn. भाई कैसे काम करने बोल रहे हो आप इतना ज़्यादा? It's a toxic culture. ये वो. But ठीक है. Anyways, I understand the crux of it. The point is, whenever needed, you have to be there. Is what?
Yeah, you have to be the hardest working person.
Correct.
In order to succeed, you can make do with doing the bare minimum. But in order to really perform and really excel, there's no shortcut for hard work.
Nice. According to you, then, how should a proper tech or product company should structure their teams?
I don't have a idea or a point of view onto how you structure things so that they work at scale. We just have examples and use cases. जैसे Google में most PMs have very extensive tech experience because that's what they need.
Productive ऐसा है.
Productive ऐसा है. Facebook also gets very tech intensive product managers, specifically engineers who are at Facebook or Google. They get into product roles per se. Plus the tech products that we are talking about, the sales and marketing aspect themselves is a tech thing. That's the growth PM thing. Facebook sells itself using network effect. The product is the product that sells. So there's a difference between a tech product and a tech enabled product.
Correct.
Uber sells cab rides, not tech. So then there is a difference. Okay, who's the person who's managing the inventory? Who's the person that managing coupons and demands and referrals and bonuses?
Nice.
So if you are selling the tech itself, then it's a lot easier. Then you can do that. Then direct engineers can correlate, then liaise
And
or
product
negotiate
managers
with
can think
legal.
about
Then
that.
the product is more tech and they have got more control.
Correct.
There are very few tech products from India per se. Proper. I would say Postman is one of them. Or Zoho, Freshdesk is one of them. These are purely SaaS tech products. Gaming startups is one of them. Social media, TikTok, Moj. All these are tech products where the product is the product which is tech. All the other startups, all the other companies, the product is something else. And
Got
tech
it.
is
Enabling that to happen.
tech is what drives it. Tech is what sells it, but tech does not, or tech or product does not hold the eventual P&L for that. So the person who holds the P&L holds the hierarchy.
Got it.
That's how it gets driven.
Could you state few points, from your ISP and IT Guwahati experiences, which you still take with you or carry with you? Any moments, good moments, any thought process, any learning that you, if you would, if you were to give to your younger self at IIT Guwahati and at ISP, so what would you have told them?
ISP was 7 years into it. So probably what I would tell myself in IIT Guwahati is, firstly, and repeating, there's no shortcut to hard work. There are no free lunches in life, and there's simply no excuse for not putting in the effort. You might not have the clarity of what you want to do in life or where you want to be, and it's very hard, very unjustified to expect people that are in IIT specifically coming from Kota or Cochin. But still, hard work का कोई alternate है नहीं anywhere.
आप कॉलेज में कैसे थे, मतलब हार्ड वर्क करते थे या नहीं करते थे?
नहीं,
शॉर्टकट्स?
not really shortcuts. And secondly, his life is too long to be hung up on small things. ठीक है, you can quit a job if you don't like it. You can take a month, 2 months, even 6 months off. Gaps in your resume don't hamper as long as you are taking it for the right reasons as well. लोग ऐसा लगता है ना कि अभी क्या हो जाएगा मेरा 1 साल, ये खराब हो जाएगा मेरा, ये नहीं हुआ, मेरा वो नहीं हुआ. Life is too long, and the amount of money that you're going to make, the amount of influence that you're going to have on this world, on your family, the amount of good things that you do 5 साल, 6 साल, 7 साल बाद of graduating, starting के 4-5 years you'll just write off. Whatever you do in the first 4 years, do it as an investment in yourself. Do that hard work, do that for your personal growth. अगर उसके लिए, if you want to take off, go travel the world. If you want to and if you can, you should just do that. If you want to do an unpaid internship because you think that you'll learn something,
you should
go do that. Don't get into that financial trouble. I know it might sound a little selfish, but if you can afford to, you should definitely do that, because life is very long for getting hung up at that young age.
So let's say if I or anyone watching this video wants to be a product manager, what exactly do you expect, or do you think ये सारी चीजें करने चाहिए, which is a very good to have to be a product manager, or what do you look for a product manager while hiring in your team? Let's say fresher हो या experienced हो, किस तरीके का process आप रखते हो?
At that level, if you want to get into product management, or if you want to succeed in product management, there are a few basic things. There are a few skills जो innately problem solving, first principle thinking, ये वाली सारी चीजें, basic intelligence, that is there. But there are a few ways that you can prepare for it. Firstly, while it is not true for all companies, basic understanding of technology, of code and how it works is important. Bare minimum, so much so that you are able to hold a conversation with the engineers, because again you have to earn their respect to influence them. Correct. So you need to know what you're talking about at least, and you need to be able to understand 50, 60, 70% of what they are talking about. Otherwise they won't listen to you.
And the jargons as well.
So, and there are free resources everywhere. There's Twitter, there's LinkedIn, there's, even if you don't want to spend on Upgrad or Product Hunt or Product School, There are free resources on Twitter that you can follow and articles on Medium that you can. So basic tech architecture, what are the technologies, how do they work, ifs and buts of them, this versus that, for plus and minuses of tech. That is the first thing that will help you a lot. It's not like you'll not be 100% rejected if you don't have it, but it will definitely be a step up that you will be highlighted amongst other candidates. And secondly, just keep up to date on new business models and new revenue use cases that people are doing. What are people actually doing? What kind of startups are running around? Who's doing what in India, in US, who's solving what type of problems? So just a current know-how and current events as far as products are concerned and companies are concerned and startups are concerned. So you get into that mindset on what people are trying to do, what kind of problems that they are trying to solve. It does not look like much, but you get that frameworks built in your mind that then you can apply to any new problem, that apply to any chota feature also, a business problem statement also. So I think these are the two things that that can help a lot if you want to enter or get yourself stand out amongst other competitors.
It doesn't take much as well to prepare for these two things. It's not like a saal ka course karna. These are things that you can do day in day out while going somewhere. Nice.
It's like you need to know basic P&L statement because finance is anyways a part of product management. So you need to know what is EBITDA, what is EBIT, even if it has got nothing to do with your life. That is something that you have to know. You'll have to know SEO, SEM, paid ads, marketing, targeting, what they are, how do they work. So all these key
pointers,
concepts, you need to have that handbook of how to ask the right questions. At least you don't have all the answers, you should have all the questions. You should not be completely out of the blue. Okay, now, ye kya ho raha hai?
I'm really thankful that you came into our podcast and spoke and gave us very valuable inputs about your life, about the ecosystem, about logistics, about being a product manager, about how to become a product manager as well. Thanks for summarizing everything into a small podcast or a very short podcast.